The top 3 lead magnets that every business needs. Now, after building my first 7-figure business, I realized I had a huge passion for marketing, and more specifically, how to get leads in the most effective and efficient way I could do that for service-based businesses, including my own. Now, lead magnets are single-handedly the most powerful marketing tool I know that not only generates leads, but can actually get leads at a cost far less than any other method I know. Where else can you actually make something so quickly and get quality results? Now, there are so many ways you can do marketing, and I'm gonna show you how you can remove all the confusion, get laser focused on one thing that's going to help your audience get a specific result, solving a problem that they don't just want to solve, but they need to solve. Have you ever debated if you should do a video sales letter or a webinar or a workshop or whatever's hot right now? Then you got all excited just to come to the realization that you actually have zero confidence in pulling this thing off. And you also might realize it's a lot more work and you're in a lot deeper than you thought. Or maybe you bought a course on the latest and greatest marketing strategy and it's overwhelming or makes no sense. In 2020, I came to the realization that list building and community building is key. One quick example is my 7-figure marketing agency does over $80,000 a month, and it has been for quite a few years. It originally grew from a Facebook group that wasn't even mine. Then my partner and I created a second group that we could have more impact in. Now, whether you have a group, have a list channel of some sort, the point is you have to make an asset you can use to build a relationship with your audience. And once I realized this, I went all in on the best way to actually build a list and a community. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, well, why build a list? Why build a community? Why not just send them to a webinar or a workshop or heck, even a low ticket offer right away? I totally understand it, and it's honestly a logical question. There is a time and place for a webinar, a workshop, or a low ticket offer. A webinar requires a lot of eyeballs to work, and it's honestly more difficult to get going, and it requires a different skill set. I find lead magnets to be quicker, more reliable, and effective without really sacrificing lead quality when starting out, and then gradually moving leads up into some type of flagship content from there. Now, in 2021, I tested this theory myself prior to building out this complicated 4-page funnel with upsells, downsells, bumps, and all this other crazy stuff. I decided to go all in on me and the idea. Now, the concept was just make a simple lead magnet by writing down a process I use to run ads. Now, this is known as an SOP or standard operating procedure. It's something that we used in the military to make mundane tasks simple and effective when doing it yourself. When I made this in about 20 minutes, I made this lead magnet and I had an ad up. The next morning after I made this, I was kind of shocked that I had about 20 leads at a ridiculously low cost. It was like $1 to $2 a lead. And since then, I have tested different concepts and different types of lead magnets that I'm gonna share with you. So there are 3 types of lead magnets I use. So let's start with the first one. The first one is a PDF, a checklist, or an SOP, as I said. It's basically a step-by-step instruction that helps your audience solve a problem. Again, this could be a template, a workbook, something like that. These bad boys all have one thing in common. When done right, they have some documented process in order to help your audience solve a specific problem or reach a goal. Now, when I was making my very first lead magnet, I kept trying to come up with like all these good ideas and all this stuff, and I really felt like nothing was ever good enough, and I kind of felt overwhelmed. So I remember struggling with a concept. Remember this question from Tony Robbins, and the question was, if this were easy, what would that look like? And as cliche as it is, that helped me and it came to me. You need to ask yourself this question: what is the biggest result you have ever helped somebody achieve? For me, immediately what came to my mind was Facebook ads. So I made a checklist on my process and how I make Facebook ads. And I now have generated thousands of leads using this overall process. Also, if you want step-by-step instructions on this process, check a link in the description to join my free school community where you can directly ask questions and get access to my free course that shows you how to launch your lead magnet. Again, the first checklist I made with one question: what is the biggest result I've ever helped myself or someone achieve? Make that. Now let's move on to lead magnet tool number 2. As you can tell, video is the most effective way to tap into your audience's desires. You can take someone from cold to hot really quick. Now, the second resource, video itself isn't a new strategy. However, the way we educate and sell is constantly changing. Think of how new movies and shows constantly become blockbusters, but it's the same story. It's really up to us to make those a hit for our audience. What makes video so powerful, and especially YouTube, is you can make it one time and then you can use it over and over. kind of like an asset. One of my favorite tools to use as a lead magnet is a video. And the cool thing about video is you can use it forever. So about a year ago, I decided to do a challenge or workshop every month. Most were free originally, and I would spend 2 to 3 days every month making content that not only showed how to do things my audience wanted help with, but also selling my product. What ended up happening was I had a ton of content to use that actually documented the processes I could use as lead magnets. Make videos documenting your processes so you can pre-sell your leads on the value you offer. So tool number 3, imagine there's a way you could get leads to prove they are more serious by actually taking action. And because these leads prove they are more serious by taking action, by either consuming content or doing something that requires their action. So I remember first getting leads coming in and it was a little bit overwhelming. I'm sitting there looking at all the leads coming in, and truth be told, when you get leads, it's really my belief you're gonna get a mix of good leads, some who need more nurturing, and those that just will never move forward no matter what. I was dreading reaching out to every single one of these leads, and I wanted to automate the process that would allow me to get the more serious leads to not only show me they're serious, but by taking the action, by getting them into a group where they can then consume more content and get to know me better. So I love using a gating tool. Specifically, I would offer the leads something more of value after the first lead magnet and then get them into a group or a community of some sort. In order to get access, not only did they have to enter information, but they also had to answer some qualifying questions. Growing a community and getting leads by offering another lead magnet using a video and then gating it is something that worked for me very well. And when I did this using a Facebook group specifically, I saw about a 40% join rate. Now, there are several ways you can gate lead magnets and offer a lead magnet. This is just one of them. So use whatever you feel comfortable with. So let's take a look at what we covered so far. We talked about the top 3 lead magnets every service-based business should be using, in my opinion. We got the PDFs, we got the checklist, which is just really a process on paper that helps reach a desired result. We got video that you can create to show and teach whatever that desired result is to your audience. And then we have the third, which is a gateway to deliver a lead magnet or an offer. Again, like a Facebook community, a group, I'm personally using School right now. So speaking of which, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see this process step by step, click the link in the description, join my School community, grab access to my free course, and join the Ready Launch Scale community. I'll see you in the next video.